2. Welcome back, WNST, Towson, Baltimore, and WNST.net. It's a holiday week around here, a new year around here. The Terps are exciting around here, and certainly it's Lamar fever. This guy's about to join the WNST team here on Monday morning. Been a friend of mine for a long, long time. I've been a follower of his work out on the internet. We see each other many, many times, from Cole Fieldhouse to the new Xfinity Center. We welcome Bruce Posner back on from Terp Talk, and a big howdy and a hello and a happy holidays and a happy, hopefully, bye week, number one seed, all that good stuff. Got to pinch you, right? I mean, you're in the intersection of Terps with a top 10 team and the Ravens being the number one team. We're all having a lot of fun around here right now, aren't we, Bruce?
Nobody's got it better than us, as John Harbaugh would say. Terps right now are kind of like in a lull. They got just a couple non-conference games before the first of the year that are important to win, but they're not life and death. It's all about the conference. You know that, Nestor. You live and die by your record in the conference. And so that's kind of like on a semi-hold right now. And, of course, it's all Lamar right now. I mean, I've never seen anybody, I was with a bunch of people at a game a couple weeks ago with the Jet game Thursday night, and we were all in the elevator, and we all agreed on one thing. Not only has Lamar done wonders for the Ravens and for the fan base, but he's done wonders for the city of Baltimore. He's brought the city together, and that's not easy, all right? But he has. It's a one-thought town right now, and that's Lamar and the Ravens and the bye and the Super Bowl and the playoffs. And credit to Lamar for that, buddy.
Well, I've been out of town a little bit and coming back into town. I've been driving out of the city and back into the city at night. And every time I drive into the city, everything's purple. I look out my window. Where I live down in the middle of all of it. Everything's purple. And there's such a level of expectation. I'm getting on a plane. I'm flying down to South Florida. I'm getting hotel rooms ready. I'm doing the trips that, I remember Whiskey Joe's, and we did the march in New Orleans, and I'm hoping to do all this. And I'm thinking, what's in the way? And Luke and I have been talking about this. Over the weekend, you sit around all day Sunday and watch football. You watch the Bills and the Steelers play on Sunday night. You watch the Patriots. You watch Pat Mahomes throw the ball in the snow, and you say, hey, man, we've only got to beat two of those teams. They're going to be on our terms, on our turf, if we go out to Cleveland and get the job done here this week. You don't want to stub your toe doing that. But, even the Pittsburgh game next week will be a little bit of an afterthought and a rest game if we put all of this together. And I start to look at the Bills and Houston and these other teams and saying, who's going to be the team we're going to see on the 11th or the 12th? And then what's going to be the remnant of what we're going to see on the 19th, or the Chiefs or the Patriots or whatever? And can we survive that? Are we going to be able to win those games? Because I don't think anything would be more devastating than losing one of these games next month, because the expectation's gone through the ceiling.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a one-and-done situation once you're in the playoffs. And, the Ravens just keep rolling, but, everybody says this and Lamar and, he might get hurt and all that. And you know what? Why won't the Ravens go all the way? When you get to that final game, you really don't know what happens. It really is a crapshoot. But right now, why not? And that's the way I look at it. And, it's very fortunate that I can join the channel as the Ravens make the move because of the incredible job that you do covering. And I will say I'm going to bring some other things to the channel that I think you'll love. A tremendous lacrosse following, a tremendous lacrosse discussion as we get into the spring. You know about my relation with Maryland lacrosse. And as well, going to bring in some golf talk. I haven't heard much of that on Nestor, but you're going to hear it from me. So I think I'll bring some things to the table as well as get a lot from the table from your incredible incredible coverage of the Ravens.
Well, I'll be off in Cleveland this week. Luke's going to be in the backfields at Owings Mills. Bruce Posner's going to be here on Monday morning after the game, and I'll be on a plane coming back from Cleveland right around then as well. Make sure you're tuning in as Terp Talk moves over here to WNST for a little portion of time as well. Bruce, I'm used to talking Terps with you. Let's do a little bit of Terps, and we'll get back on to Lamar and all the excitement of purple. For the Terps, and you talk about levels of expectation, right? I mean, when you're number 5, number 6 in the country, and you're winning games, and other teams are losing, and Duke's losing in front of you, and all this other stuff's going on, maybe you don't see Penn State coming. Some thoughts about where the Terps are, where the lessons are, and as you said, the Big Ten's going to be where it's at. There's a couple of games coming up here over the next week or two, but we're a week and a half out from really getting into the teeth of getting on planes and going out to the Midwest. How do you assess where the Terps are right now? Because it's been, some choppy first halves, even against playing down to some competition earlier in the month, right?
Listen. This year, Nestor, the two things we know is that there is no dominant team in college basketball. 7 number 1 teams have lost. It's almost like a curse to be number 1. And here's the other issue. Right now, okay, going into the Big Ten season, this is going to shock you. There's been 13 games, all right, 13 games in the Big Ten before the first of the year. And that's how it's going to stay. How many road teams do you think have won?
I have not done the math on it.
Well, the answer is 0.
Wow.
Can you imagine that? When Minnesota they wasted Ohio State, it became the 13th home team to win. So a Minnesota win over a number 3 and a Maryland loss to Penn State, where in essence Maryland was an underdog that game. That's a well-kept secret. That was no upset. This Big Ten conference is insane. It's insane. And a win on the road is gold.
I remember last year, and I think that the conversation was with you, and I know I had it with Chris Nockey and some other people as well around the Terps, was that Penn State looked to be a better team last year. You could see an emergence for them last season where I thought, they're not far off. And I remember having conversations with people saying, why do we have football-only schools or basketball-only schools? Why can't Penn State get up the hill basketball-wise the way they have football-wise? And it feels to me like they've made some strides. There's a lot of money in the Big Ten, across football and basketball, that you can get better, you can improve. Maryland's trying to do that on the football side, right?
Yes, and they got a ways to go right now. But basketball, they're there. They're top 10 in the country. And, the loss to Penn State was disheartening. But you know what? Our name is Lou, and we could go down too. In other words, it's just another team that lost on the road. It's going to happen. Maryland's not going to go 19-1 in the Big Ten. Nobody is. So it's going to be a fight. And the key is, where are the Terps when Shoal Marie comes back, the 7'3" guy? Where are the Terps in March? That's the key. They're going to be in the tournament, but where are they going to be as a developmental team? I think they're going to be great. It remains to be seen right now.
Well, you mentioned playing on the road. I mean, they just didn't shoot the ball well up at State College, right? I mean, more than anything else. I mean, Callum was off. Everybody was off, right?
Yeah, Callum was off, and Callum's been incredible. Callum's been one of the best point guards in the country. And then you take a look at a kid from Minnesota last night named Hart, and he scored 37 points against Ohio State, a freshman. I mean, the talent in the Big Ten's insane. And the great job Juwan Howard's done at Michigan, although they dropped off. So I can't tell you, the home schedule for Maryland this year is just, it's just incredible, on the same level as the home schedule was for the Ravens. And, I can't wait for it to start. But we got some football to take care of before the basketball games get really, really big.
Well, we got Bruce Posner here. You can find him at Terp Talk. You can find him on Monday morning here at WNST. He's joining the party in the aftermath of Cleveland getting started for 2020, where he's going to have some lacrosse. I know there's going to be a lot of Terps going on there, a lot of basketball going on. But certainly for here and for now, it's all about Lamar and Cleveland this week and getting through this. Boy, I watched Cleveland play Arizona on Sunday, Bruce. This better be easier than it usually is to go out to Cleveland and steal a win here on the eve of Christmas as I overlook my leg lamp,
You never know what happens, but when Miles Garrett hit that kid Rudolph in the head with the helmet, that really was the kiss of death for Cleveland. And, Nestor, we both should say one thing. I'm hosting the show, but it's the wisdom and brilliance of the Science and Kirk company that's bringing the show to Nestor. Carl Science is just overly excited about the show, and that's the key thing. And Carl wanted to get me on your channel. I'm on 2 other channels, but he wanted a Monday morning weekend wrap show, and that's what it's going to be. It'll be Ravens while we're going on, but of course that'll be done by February 2nd, and from then on in, we're going to talk some Orioles, a lot of Terps. We're going to talk a lot of lacrosse, and I know you'll be pleased with the content that we bring.
Well, I always am, man, and I'm always pleased with having you on the program as well. Any thoughts about Cleveland this week? Any thoughts about the Rocket? I mean, look, 4 or 5 weeks ago, to me, Baker Mayfield was still – it felt threatening to me. I'm seeing Jarvis Landry with the coach over the weekend, and they're jawing. I've seen the Cleveland media talk about the difference without Myles Garrett with, slugging Mason Rudolph over the head and how that's changed them. The Cleveland Browns were supposed to be the Super Bowl team. I had a buddy of mine from Cleveland. He's supposed to fly home for the holidays to go to the game. The Browns fans have packed it in. They're not even going to show up on Sunday.
Yeah, I would be surprised if they did. I was kind of rooting for Pittsburgh on Sunday night, so they could wrap up and come into Baltimore with that game not meaning anything. But naturally, that's not how it works, if you know what I mean. They're going to need that game. I think the Cleveland game is crucial. It's so important if we could get Lamar an extra week of rest. All right, even though it'd be 3 weeks off, I don't care. Because, playing Pittsburgh can always be problematic. There's no doubt about it. Guys get hurt, and I'd just like to see that game. I think it's very important for the Ravens to beat Cleveland, and I don't see why any reason that they won't.
All right, man. Well, look, you have a great holiday weekend. We're going to hear from you on Monday morning. Bruce Posner's going to be here this Monday, next Monday, every Monday. We're doing a weekend wrap show from, at least for the next 6 weeks. I hope that wraps up with a Super Bowl parade for all of us. I'm going to be down in South Florida trying to figure this out. It's exciting. You got your purple lights out, right, Bruce?
There's no doubt. Nestor, I'm going to be down there, too, if the Ravens get in, and I'll certainly come by and see you on Radio Row. I look forward to it, and I think we got a great month and a half ahead of us.
No doubt about it. Bruce Posner, Terp Talk, joining us here each and every Monday. And he's going to join me a little more often than that to talk some Terps around here as the Terps get into the belly of the beast and the Big Ten schedules. We saw how difficult that was going to be against Penn State last week. Thought it was going to just be easy. It's never easy, man. It's NCAA basketball, and that's why they're playing it. Terps back after it on Thursday. Nice to see Coppin and UMBC get together as well. Robert Kennedy will be joining us later on with some buckets and birds. We'll get some golf in as well. Nasty at WNST.net finds me 24 hours a day from anywhere in the world. I'm on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and Snapchat and anywhere you are. It's all Lamar all the time. We are WNST.net, AM 1570 and WNST, Towson, Baltimore, and we never stop talking Baltimore sports.